In fact, this pattern may be referred to several definitions. This pattern, I think, maybe is uh, relatively is easy. Much than the pay attention to for the composition, for the characteristics sequence, the function pay attention to. Highly repetitive sequence. The location, the site, what kind of the function you pay attention to. For this, I emphasize except the chromosome DNA and the mitochondrial DNA you pay attention to. This is the also it is the composition to the genome. Okay. Last times we simply introduce something for about the replication about the DNA. For the replication, from here you can see from this paper, from this PPT, UBCS is very clear. In fact, this process is very complicated. Very complicated. Refer to many kinds of the enzymes, many kinds of the factors, it is so on. At that times, from the last semester, we studied the structure of the DNA. Double helix structure, you can see the tubular isomerase, the helix, it's so on. You can see maybe destroyed the double helix structure and began to synthesize offspring DNA. And like this, the first characteristics about the replication, semi-conservative replication. You can see synthesize the offspring DNA molecule. You can see every offspring DNA, one of the strand generated from the parents, and another and the complementary strand is the entirely new synthesized. Hey, here from this figure, you can see is very clear. You can see this property. We summarize, it is a semi-conservative replication. Another here, last times we studied, you can see this experiment directly certificated the DNA replicated abide by the semi-conservative replication. You can see what kind of the experiment. You can see the cell. You can see at the times cultured under the certain condition. The all over the medium contains the nitrogen's element. It is the nitrogen's 15. And when this kind of the cell, you can see change the medium. The medium you can see contains the nitrogen. It is 14. At that times, you can see extract the DNA and through the at that times you can see when this DNA extracted from the steel, and furthermore, you can see when you through the density certificate, at that times you can see maybe the DNA molecular state maybe is the changed light. At that times, finish the certificated centrifuge, and at that times you can see the one this tube you can see the DNA band maybe is up to the parent DNA. Why like this? Because new produced the DNA straight, and at that times produced the offspring DNA. You can say it is a hybrid DNA, and this molecular is you can say is more light compared with the parent DNA. So, and furthermore, the cells cultured under such condition, and at that times you can see produced the two DNA band. Why? Because at that times you can see produced the hybrid DNA at the same times produced the new produced the DNA molecule. At that times you can see furthermore, and at that times the DNA molecule you can see the light DNA molecule you can see becomes more and more. Why like this? This experiment you can see directly certificated the conservative replication. In other words, you can see this PPT reviewed last time we studied. For this, you can see the new produced the DNA molecule. You can see because the DNA polymers have the special property only synthesized from the 5' to 3' this direction. So at the times you can see the DNA double helix structure. You can see one straight it is the 3' to 5', and another one the complementary straight it is the 5' to 3'. You can see at the times these two straight act as the temperature and to synthesize offspring DNA. At that times you can see the straight from 3' to 5' this straight and directly synthesize offspring DNA continuous and directly synthesize offspring DNA. And another one you can see, just I emphasize for you because the DNA polymers only synthesize the DNA from the 5' to 3'. So another straight from the 5' to 3'. This straight act as a temperature directly to synthesize the offspring DNA. At that times you can see maybe anti-direction, the reverse direction synthesizes the DNA. Partially sequence synthesize. So here we studied the three definitions: the leading straight, the lagging straight, the occasional fragment. What's mean? You can see just the temperature when the straight, the direction, it is the 3' to 5'. This straight act as a temperature directed to synthesize offspring DNA straight, continuous synthesize from the 5' to 3'. This temperature DNA straight, it is the leading straight. And another one, the complementary straight, you can see synthesize, you can see also synthesize sequence by sequence. Also synthesize from 5' to 3'. At that times, another one, this straight, it is lagging straight. Because this discontinuous synthesize the discontinuous fragment in replication found by the Okazaki scientist. So, in order to memorize this Japanese scientist, and every fragment gives names. It is the Okazaki fragment. This one like this, designed by the property of the DNA polymers. And another one, we just study the leading straight and the lagging straight. This is very easy. You can see this is the semi-discontinuous replication. This figure maybe help all of you is very easily understand. You can see. And another word, you can see the every ecosystem fragment go to link together. You can see negation. And finish the every fragment and again link each other and forms a continuous string. You can see the discovery of the Okazaki fragment. At the times when you can see the stills captured in the certain meeting. At the times you can see the meeting, you can see hydrogens, it is the hydrogens 3. At the times you can see adding the highest 3's side meeting in the meeting for a few seconds, and furthermore, and spawn down and break the steel to stop the napping, and analysis and find the lack fragment of the DNA. Maybe 1,000 to 2,000 nucleotide, and maybe through the density certificate and separated this kind of the fragment. So, and can be separated this kind of the fragment. This fragment, it is the Okazaki fragment. Okay. And another one, semi discontinuous replication. Like this, you can see. The leading straight continuous synthesize offspring DNA. And for the another straight, you can see synthesize discontinuous. Another one, origination point. What is the another in the first chapter I introduced follow you. For every kind of the DNA molecule, you can see where begins the replication. we begin the replication. Here you can see the fixed origination the point for the general DNA replication. And two norms for the originated point is very clear for the Lakers fragment. Why? Because the certain sequence maybe gives the originated single and begin to replicate the DNA. So here you can see the first property. We summarize the DNA replication begin from the unique site of the DNA molecule, where it is the originated point of the replication. Here you can see summarized here for the periodic organisms. You can see the starting point formed and contains the spatial sequence. 245 base pair. This how to synthesize, you can see the 13 base pairs of replication. Like there, you can see GAT, CT, NTT, TATT. You can see here another replicated sequence. You can see GAT, CT, NTT, NTATT. And another one, you can see TAT, CT, CTT, ATT, AG, like this. And another kind of the replication, you can see 6 base pairs replications, repetitive sequence. You can see TGT, GG, ATT, AT, AA. And another one you can see, and 5 9 base pairs repetitive sequence. And in this PPT, I emphasize for my students, you can see, for the eukaryotic organisms, you can see, every DNA molecule, you can see, contains stable originated site, stable starting point, different to the periodic organism. For the periodic organisms, you can see every molecules, you can see all in one originated point. Okay, another one. Two definition, replicating and the replications fork. You can see from the originated site to the stop site. This sequence, it is the replicating. From the beginning to the termination, this is the replicating. And another one, you can see the structure of the two unlocated the street forms the tree-like structure. It is the replications fork. And you can see from here, this figure, you can see the DNA replication here forms the fork. Here, pay attention to, you can see periodic organisms, the one chromosome DNA, one plasmid, you can see all in one originated site of the replication. All in one replicating of the whole chromosome. And for the eukaryotic organism, you can see stereo-oriented replication. Like this, you can see. All in one. Further, you can see the right figure, you can see. You can see stereo-oriented site. And another property, you can see bi-directional replication. You can see here from the oriented side, you can see two directions and at the same time synthesize the offspring DNA. So you here you see the DNA unlocked the chain from the start point, oriented point to direction, and to synthesize offspring DNA. You can see this figure. The below is the right and two directional replication. You can see here the DNA replication, and you can see another one because the DNA polymers have the special property. Only can synthesize the DNA molecular, you can see only behind the nucleotide sequence. Can't from the beginning synthesize offspring DNA. And this you can see maybe is the similar to the glucogen synthesis. That's the semester we study. You can see the glucose to synthesize the glucan. And that times you can see only added the glucose residue to the polysaccharide chain. So here you can see DNA synthesis and that times must behind the nucleotide chain. Well, like this. At the beginning, how to synthesize offspring DNA. And that times we the later PPD we be studied. You can see. And that times you can see. At first, synthesize the primer, and furthermore, and added and extended the DNA sequence. DNA synthesis proceeded in the 5' to 3' direction. And that times you can see another property. It is the RNA primer. The first fuse nucleotide and the fine end of the oxygen fragment. It is the ribonucleotide. So the DNA synthesis is primed by the RNA that is then removed from the fragmented, negated together. Here you can see replication. Every fragment you can see here the sequence, the RNA sequence I marked with the green block. Abide by the base pair and synthesis synthesize the DNA sequence. This is the characteristics about the DNA replication. And later, we introduce something about the enzymes referred to the DNA replication. Here, all of the enzymes, all of the elements, all of the factors take part in the DNA replication. The enzyme divided two groups. One of the group you can say that is unlock the DNA chain. And another one you can say the enzymes is synthesize offspring DNA. The first unlock the DNA chain you can see here. Refer to here you can see the helix and the tuberous. The helix you can see destroys the hydrogen bond. You can say between the base pair forms the hydrogen bond. And two neurons find stable kind of the helix. The DNA A, B, C, H so on. And the two neurons find the DNA A, this kind of the helix recognize the originated point. And the DNA B, it is really unlocked the base pair, destroyed the base pair, and it destroyed the hydrogen bond. And another one, it is SSB, the single straight bonding protein. Because last semester we studied you can hydrogen bond, and when you destroyed the factors and the two straight easily restores the natural structure, and maybe base paired each other and forms the double helix structure. So the DNA molecules want to replicate all in single straight DNA sequence. DNA straight can be act as a temperature directly to synthesize offspring DNA. At that times, another protein, the single straight bonding protein, is very important. And at that times, you can say like the figure when the helix and all of the enzymes, maybe you can say destroy the double helix structure and the single straight bonding protein, you can see bonding the straight and keep the single straight. This kind of the protein you can see has the two function. It is make the single straight of the DNA stable. And another ones, you can see to protect the single straight, avoid the degradation by the nucleus. Another enzymes you can see it is topoisomerase. And to learn in the periodic organisms and find the two kind of the topoisomerase. Double isomerase 1, you can see, relax the double helix structure. You can see only cut one of the strand and makes the double helix structure relax. And like this figure, you can see the tuber is the isomerase 1 and cut one of the strand and relax the structure. And for another one, you can see the two strand sometimes cut and make the DNA relax. These two kind of enzymes, another one, topoisomerase 1, don't need the ATP, directly cut one of the strand. And topoisomerase 2 needs the ATP. You can see here, when the DNA double structure, you want to relax and destroy the hydrogen bond without the topoisomerase. Lever destroys the hydrogen bond. When the topoisomerase act to the DNA molecule, at that times you can see, and the helix begin to working. From this figure, you can see, the first you can see the DNA, the topoisomerase 2 act as the DNA double helix structure, and furthermore, the DNA B destroys the hydrogen bond. And another one you can see, just we studied the two enzymes and one kind of the protein. Take part in the replication. Take part in the trade and forms the temperature. And later we studied the all of the enzymes. You can see take part in synthesis of splendin. The first you can see premise, and just I emphasize again. The DNA polymers can't synthesize the DNA molecule, you can see from the beginning. Only edited the DNA DNA sequence. So here at the beginning, synthesize the DNA need the primer. How to synthesize the primer? The primer synthesized by the DNA RNA polymers. You can see the enzymes canonize to synthesize RNA primer, which is the special RNA polymerase, RNA polymerase. And this kind of RNA polymerase, it is the primerase. And another one, you can see synthesize the DNA, you can say DNA polymers. These enzymes my students pay attention to. Only canonize and elongated the nucleotide synthesis. Can't synthesize from the beginning. And the last one, you can say DNA ligase. You can say all of the oxycarous fragment, you can say, and the last canonize and linked together by this enzyme, DNA ligase. Like this. You can see this figure at the beginning, the promise, catalyze, and synthesize this sequence. Okay, reached 10 minutes, and we started the later part.
OK，老师。
OK，老师。
The primer, the premise. This is, in fact, it is a really special RNA polymers. This part you don't study in the middle school. So here, the premise. And another one. This kind of structure gives the name. This complex structure contains the DNA strand and the helix and the topoisomerase, its own. All of this together forms the complex structure is called chromosome. This is the chromosome. When you and another one, how to synthesize the primer. From this figure, you can see the DNA helix recognizes the originating point, and the topoisomerase relaxes the structure, and helix destroys the hydrogen bond and relaxes the strand and forms the single strand, and immediately bonded with the single strand bonding protein, SSB. The primer synthesized and furthermore, and began to DNA polymers began to working and replace the previous and to elongate the nucleotide sequence. Here you can see periodic organisms and find the DNA polymers 1, 2, 3. And eukaryotic organisms, you can see found the stable kind of the DNA polymers, the alpha, beta, gamma, delta, and epsilon, it is all. And here you can see maybe in the future find a stable kind of the DNA polymers. Here, how to in order to choose and keep the base pair. This meaning finished by the DNA polymers. DNA polymers, you can see, have the two functions. One, elongated the DNA strand. And another one you can see, and from time to times, all the times keep the highly activity, exon nucleus activity, especially for the 3' to 5' exon nucleus activity. This activity has the good property and keep the fidelity of DNA replication. What's it mean? You can see here. Fidelity of the DNA replication. When here you can see this figure, you can see A paired with G. This is the running base pair. And at that time, you can see DNA polymers began to working, and you can see here, and exon nucleus began to working, and cut the A, and added the right the nucleotide and C. You can see here. They're rolling in, and you can see the nucleus function began to working, and cut and removed and replace the right nucleotide. Here, I explained something for the DNA polymers. For the prokaryotic organisms, you can see the polymerase 1, you can see the multifunctional enzymes. You can see have the polymerase activity and can be catalyzed and synthesized offspring DNA sequence. And another one, you can see the exon nucleus activity. This, you can see the 1 and 3 have the exon nucleus activity from the 5' to 3', and 3' to 5'. So this kind of the function we give names is the proofreading function. You can from this figure, you can see C is really the polymerase forms the cytosine, and paired with A is the running base pair. At that time, you can see the proofreading function began to working and cut the cytosine nucleotide and removed and waiting for the right the T nucleotide added to here. And here my student pay attention to. In fact, take action in the DNA replication. For the periodic organism, the polymerase 3 takes the good action. The polymerase 1 mainly compensated the gap. You can see a small fragment linked together, and at times the DNA polymerase 1 began to work. And polymerase 3, it is the really catalyze the replication of the periodic organism. And maybe some students maybe ask me, the polymerase 2, what kind of the function? This. And to now find under the emergency condition, the DNA polymerase 2 take action and catalyze and synthesize the when the DNA damaged the larger sequence can't repair them immediately, and that times under the emergency condition, and that times the DNA polymerase 2 began take action and synthesize offspring DNA. This we studied the next chapter, and for this in the periodic organisms, the DNA polymerase 3 take the good action, and the This enzymes you can say many polymerase activity. And another one you can say all the times forms the heterodimer, like this. The have the another property, the activity, it is the exon nucleus. This in order to proofreading. Here you can see, like say here, you can see the really take action. It is the alpha subunit. For the beta, you can see forms the clamp, maybe clutch and bonded with the temperature DNA sequence. And the epsilon, you can see it is the proofreading function. And the two subunit may be linked the two dimer linked together. Here you can see. This figure you can see the 5' exon nucleus, and the times you can see link translation, and the times you can see from here you can see cut and elongated the offspring DNA, and the last DNA ligase began to working and linked together. And another one here, this PPT you can see summarize pluritic organisms DNA polymerase function. Conversations and the functions, you can see 3' to 5' exon nucleus proofreading, and another one 5' to 3' exon nucleus, polymerization rate, it is so on. Compare each other. Here, my students pay attention to polymerase 1 for the pluritic organisms, you can see. It is take action during the linked the oxidase fragment, and really catalyze the synthesis of offspring DNA. It is the DNA polymerase 3. Polymerase 2, you can say under the emerging condition, take action and synthesize the offspring DNA. For the eukaryotic organisms, you can see every subunit, every kind of the polymerase, you can see the action different. Here, my students pay attention to the gamma, you can see it is synthesize the leading strand. And the alpha, you can see synthesize negative strand. And beta, take action under the DNA repair. And the delta, you can see catalyze and synthesize the multicolorous DNA. Epsilon, DNA repair. Okay, summarize here. For the eukaryotic organism, you can see the helix, the DNA, you can see regularized organizations or originating site, and the helix B, DNA B, nuclear DNA chains, destroyed the hydrogen bond. SSB, you can stable the single strand, and the promise synthesize other primer to isomerase 1 and 2, you can say relax the DNA strand. And the DNA polymerase 3, you can say catalyze the DNA replication. DNA polymerase 1, you can say repaired the leak and linked the together. And ligase negated the DNA strand fragment. Here, today we stopped here. Next week, we study the replication for the periodic organisms and the eukaryotic organisms, how to replicate the DNA strand. Okay, today we stopped here.
Okay, 老师。
Class is over.
Thank you, 老师。